right, welcome to the Boot Hill Sports Network. The boss is back this week, Jeremy, so the mice will not play. All strictly business, baby. Hey, thanks for joining us on this edition of Shooting Hoops in the Boot. We got a lot to talk about, guys. A lot of ball games took place this past week, some exciting ones, and we got some shifts in the pose again, probably. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. Hey, we got a special guest here tonight. We'll have Coach Don Webb of the Hayti Indians, the 10-2 Hayti Indians, who control the number one seed in that Boot Hill Conference tournament. So it should be interesting to have him. Jeremy, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good. Hoping everyone out there is going to start feeling well. I know we got a lot of schools in trouble with flu A. It's taken away some games. More importantly, it's taken away some people's ability to get out and about. So I'm just wishing everybody get well soon.
Amen on that, man. For sure. We hope everybody speedy recovery, man, for anybody, because that flu is pretty bad, man. Classy, what you got going on down there at Bulldog Nation?
Man, we just hanging out. We was out of school Thursday and Friday. The flu hit kind of hard with the students and the staff here, and I think everything's good to go for tomorrow. Back on the trail to get going. I haven't heard any word that we're missing any school. So, but I've been lucky, been blessed, and I hadn't really been sick other than maybe just a little cough. But I'll take it, considering what some of these students and teachers are going through.
Yeah, that's for sure, man. And you talking about somebody being blessed? In our message, he said he'd been around 9 people that's had the flu, and he even goes to school where the schools are shut down. And look at him, smiling, got his Milwaukee jersey on. Charlie, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. My stomach just hurts. That's it. My stomach hurts. But,
that's from laughing, ain't it?
Don't know about that one, bud.
Or did you eat Taco Bell before the show?
Did not eat Taco Bell. I can confirm that.
You have been at your dad's all weekend, so we know he probably don't cook.
Oh no, he does cook.
Oh, don't props to Matt.
He's about to be in the comments.
Hey Matt, props, buddy.
He's about to be in the comments saying, "Don't doubt my pork chop skills."
He probably already is. Look, we already got one comment. No, Jake Cole. Thanks for all you do. You're welcome, Jake. We appreciate you listening, man. So, Charlie,
thanks for watching.
You have survived. Stay away from the flu. Everything else good?
Yeah. I watched the Eagles win. Saw someone also in my house very happy about the Eagles winning, jumping around. And besides that, happy to be home.
Right on, man. All right, guys, we had a busy past week, or at least I did. Man, I had Hayti at Malden. Hayti won that easily. They was in control most of the game, and then Hayti went to Delta for the first time, I do believe, in the school history that I know of. And, man, we put up 101. They put up 70. A lot of scoring. And I tell you what, I was impressed by this kid named Bryce Cox out of Delta. This kid put up 33 points, man. Salute to you, Bryce Cox, if you're out there listening, man. And the Delta Bobcats. Great hospitality. Did have some rude fans that would walk in front of the camera even after you'd ask them not to. So that's an issue that, just kids need to work on, man, and listen to an adult when they ask you not to walk in front of their camera when they're trying to stream. Other than that, it was a great trip to Delta. And then I had South Pim and Cena Torrangeville. What a game that was, man. Went down to the wire. Of course, South Pim won by a point, man, but don't count Cena Torrangeville out in that Boot Hill Conference tournament, guys. They're going to be tough, man. That was on South Pim's home court, too, by the way. So anything can happen in the Boot Hill Conference, that's for sure, man. It's going to be a tough conference tournament. We're going to have that coming up, matter of fact, on Saturday, guys. We're going to have a busy week this week, and that's all there is going to do it. Charlie, what you got going on, man, this past week?
I'm muted. Oh no!
There you go.
I did an old man thing. Oh Lord.
You fit. Hey, you fit right in with that move, buddy. You fit right in.
Here, buddy. No. So, me and Jeremy did Campbell Crothersville. We did the JV and the varsity for that. It was homecoming for Crothersville, and I commentated the JV game, and what a game that was. Down to the wire, 44-43 finish. I was a little bit wrong on my call, and people got rightfully angry. I mean, I'm a professional. I said that there was a charge, but the ball hit the shot clock, which caused Crothersville to win. It caused a turnover, Crothersville to win. It looked like a buzzer beater for Campbell in their JV, but Crothersville won 44-43. Jeremy, I'll speak for him for right now. He did Campbell versus Crothersville in varsity. That was a tight contested game that went into overtime. And I mean, it was back and forth. It was like two heavyweight boxers just striking at each other. And when overtime, Campbell won on at the Parkinson Gymnasium, 82-75. But it was still, like I said, it was Tyson Holyfield out there. Campbell would hit a three. Crothersville would storm back by scoring 5 just out of nowhere. It felt like.
I'll tell you what, Crothersville had a lead there with just, I don't know, what, a minute, 2 minutes left to play in regulation, and Campbell comes storming back, man. Do not sleep on Campbell. So it's kind of crazy. Chris, how was your week, buddy?
Well, we're supposed to have a few games this week, but we only ended up playing one. I got to go to Zenith, to the Lions. They had their senior night, and they, and a big shout out to Principal Gurley, there, and all the staff, Coach Kyle Moore. As soon as I walked in the building, before I even got set up, they were asking me what I needed and let them know. And, that's always, all of us can attest that sometimes you walk into these places and you don't just necessarily feel welcome or comfortable, or at least for me. And so, I was just proud that they offered, hospitality, got me set up real good. I got to see 3 really good games. The boys JV, we ended up losing 40-35. St. Hornersville's got a really good JV team. Just going to give out a shout out to some of these points is Keaton Milam. He's a freshman for us. He's kind of led the way for us this year. He had 15 points, and then Quade Mitchell, he kind of chipped in 5, and so, but we lost that game by 5, 40-35.
Hey, hang on. Quade Mitchell, was that Trey's boy?
That is Trey's boy, yes.
So he goes down there to South Bend?
He goes to
Portersville? Yeah, Portersville is what I meant.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
And I see Trey and Mr. Mitchell, I call him. Neely is there.
Neely, yeah.
Yeah,
that's our neighborhood, wasn't it, Chris?
That's right. And,
yeah.
They're there rooting the Portersville Bulldogs on, and so. But yeah, he had 5 points. He's a freshman as well, and he's going to be a major player for this Bulldog team in the future. Moving on to the girls' game, which coming in, I thought was going to be a really, really good game because Zenith had they were 14 and 5. Of course our girls ended up beating them 67-39. We just that pressure. And you guys are going to see it. That Lady Bulldog pressure, full court press is something to see, and they caused a lot of turnovers. And we ended up winning 67-39. Janiyah Smith, who is a upcoming, I'll just go ahead and put it out there, a candidate for Boot Hill Player of the Year female. Boot Hill Sports Network Player of the Year female. She had 16 points. Glow Farmer had 10, and then we moved on to the boys varsity game. It was a really good game, guys. I know on paper, Zenith had to be the I would say medium to heavy favorite, but they ended up winning 62-53. They beat us by 9. Zay Bogan, of course, had 15 points, and Deuce Hickenbottom and Houston Parton chipped in with 10 points each. But, I just had a good time at Zenith. Appreciate the hospitality by the staff and administration there. They had a beautiful senior night ceremony. Got to catch up with some people that I knew from Zenith, and it was just a good time. But looking forward to starting the next week in the Boot Hill Conference.
Right on, man. I had a conversation with Coach Kyle Moore because I got confused as I was watching the replay and trying to stat everything and to write my story up, and the points didn't equal up. But Coach Moore appreciates everything we do, and as you just said, it goes to show by their hospitality there in Zenith, man, and so we appreciate that. And I'll be there tomorrow night. We'll have Haytime and Zenith right here on the Boot Hill Sports Network, along with some other games we'll talk about here in a little bit. XS Mini says, tell Haytime to come to Sykeston to have a real game against us for a real game. But hey, that would be a great game. As we all know, Sykeston is pretty doggone good in the big classes here in Missouri. And we got a question from Ashton Gardner. Do we know when the bracket for conference? Ashton, last time I talked to the home team, the hosting team, I should say, is the Portersville Bulldogs. They said Thursday, but with all the makeup games, who knows? So it might be Thursday, it might be Friday. As we know, the tournament starts Saturday. So they're going to have to get it in either way, man. They're going to have to meet either late Thursday night or Friday morning or Friday night and get the seeds set before the games on Saturday, because that's pretty important when you go into a tournament there. And right now, Haytime and Campbell's looking at the number 1 seed, with just behind them is Crowsville. Crowsville took one on the nose to Campbell. Jeremy, I know you went away for a second, but now you're back. You're like Steve Miller Band, baby, abracadabra.
I understand that reference.
Go ahead, Jeremy. Is he muted, Charlie? Tell him he's muted.
Jeremy,
No, it's AT&T. I can tell you that. I'm getting bits and pieces of what you were saying there. I had to reset it, but I know you mentioned Ashton's comment, and I heard what you said about the seedings of the Boot Hill Conference, and then that was it. You'll have to catch me up there. I think I can hear everyone now.
Yeah, it's Joe Epic says Thursday will release the standings for the Boot Hill Conference. Ashton, that is not a stupid question by no means. Just because you got games to make up doesn't mean some of them will not affect the standings, but some will. The Haytime Crewsville game is going to be a big one. Bye-bye, Jeremy, again. Jeremy's just going to leave us hanging all night, I guess. But all right, let's talk about what we have in the Boot Hill Conference standings. We'll talk about that real quick while Jeremy steps away and takes a bathroom break. Haytime is 2-1. Campbell is 4-1. South Pim is 3-2. Roseville is 4-1. Zenith Hornersville is 2-2. Portersville is 0-3, Chris. And Malden is 0-5. So those two teams are battling for the 6th and 7th seed there, which could mean a little bit difference of who you're going to play in that first round. You don't want that number 1 seed for sure. And if you know I guess number 1 would get a seed, a bye, because there's 7. There's only 7 teams in the conference now. But what a conference we have, guys. It's a conference to be proud of. And just like I talked to Coach Kyle Moore, anytime that Zenith and Campbell's up, along with Haytime, Crowsville, Portersville. I mean, Malden's down just a little bit this year, but that's not a usual thing. They're usually on the pace. Portersville is usually on the pace. So this is a very tough conference. And if you win this conference, you're definitely in line to win your district, because you're going to get that number 1 seed in district as well. A lot of these teams are in the same district. Chris, what do you think, buddy?
Well, you was talking about, not having to play the 1 seed. If you're a lower seed, you really don't want to play the 2 or the 3 either. I mean,
that's right. That's right.
But I will say this though, Malden and Portersville will more than likely bring it up the rear of that. But I guarantee you, the coaches of the 2 seed, 3 seed, 4 seed ain't going to be looking past Malden or Portersville, because there's been upsets in this tournament in the past. And Portersville, the boys have been playing really well. That's just not showing on the winning scoreboard of it. But, they're starting to come together a little bit, knocking down some threes, and I look for anything to happen. And like I say, I'm just excited. I know that Malden and Portersville do play each other. I think we play that game Wednesday. But also Portersville we host South Him tomorrow, and then we'll be at Hayti on Tuesday. So we'll have Boot Hill Conference games Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So
that's right. Charlie, you got to see some good matchups as well, talking about those teams there, man. Tell us what you think.
I mean, this is like we've been saying all year, this is the most competitive the Boot Hill Conference has been. I mean, this might be the most competitive it's been my whole life.
Right, I agree with that.
You look at this, I mean, Hayti Hayti's in a tie right now with Campbell, and technically Crothersville's still involved in that tie at the 3, but it's more Hayti and Campbell are on the inside just waiting. Crothersville's on the outside looking in right now.
There you go.
That 1 seed. They really just need Campbell and Hayti to slip. And then Crothersville's the 1 seed, and this might be a whole different story in a couple days. But, I mean, you look at the matchups right now, I believe it'd be Campbell, Malden, Seaville, Portersville, and then South Pimseneth. I mean, South Pimseneth, you saw it, Mark. I mean, that was a game. And Crothersville, Portersville, it just takes anything to happen in the Boot Hill Conference. Any given day in the Boot Hill Conference, something can happen. And I wouldn't sleep on the Campbell-Malden game. Those are 2 teams that shoot the 3 and like to shoot the 3. They live and die by the 3. I mean, all of these first-round games right now sound like they'd be wars. And then you bring in Hayti to the mix for the next round, and whoever comes out of it is or should be the odds-on favorite to win that district that they're in.
Yeah, and you got to see Malden almost upset South Pim, Charlie. So you don't sleep on Malden either. They got Bell down low. Bell is a hoss down low. Yes,
down there.
Yeah. So just because Malden hasn't won a conference game does not mean that come tournament time, sleep on them, because they can put it together. All you know is it takes. We've seen some magic happen come conference tournament time, and Malden can definitely do it. Jeremy, we're just talking about Malden and how you almost seen them upset South Pemiscot and how they could make some noise in the Boot Hill Conference tournament. So there you go, buddy.
Yeah, you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm not exactly sure what all I missed out on, but I heard you talking about Malden.
Yeah, so what we're saying, Malden can make some noise in that Boot Hill Conference tournament, even though they haven't won a game. You seen them almost upset South Pim, so.
Yeah, I have to agree. Malden has only gotten better and better and better from what I've seen. They are for sure a team that, we all are big fans of March Madness. We love the upsets. And
that's right.
This is the type of team, no doubt in my mind, that can be a diaper dandy, if you will, to quote some of the best. But, yeah.
Awesome,
Malden
Dick Vitale quote, baby.
You have to tell you, I'm dropping names right now.
It's awesome, baby.
Malden's scared to get any team out there. If I'm any team in the Boot Hill Conference, I'm scared of Malden.
Yeah. Hey, and speaking of the Boot Hill Conference, it's our special guest time. He has showed up. He is in the green room. It is Hayti Coach Don Webb. Let's get him in here. Uh-oh, he's sideways. How you doing, sideways, Coach?
Hey there, let me get it right.
There you go. Man, you are talented. You was standing on your head right here on the Boot Hill Sports Network podcast. You are awesome, Coach.
Do I need to twist it up a little more? Okay.
No, you're good, man. You're good. You're good. We appreciate you doing that handstand for us.
How you guys?
How you doing, Coach? Man, let's talk about the Hayti Indians and where you at expectation wise coming into the season to where you are now, man. How are you feeling about the team?
Oh man, I'm feeling pretty good about our boys. We're coming together. We're young, and we're taking a little time to all get on the right page, all on the same page, but we headed in the right direction. I'm happier where we at right now.
All right, Coach. You of course you had a little rough spurt this past year going through the things you went through, but you have been an introduction to the Boot Hill Conference. What do you think about the Boot Hill Conference, man, and how much talent is in this thing?
I think it's the toughest conference in the state in Class 2. You know,
Yeah.
you don't get a night off. You really don't. You don't get a night off. I mean, from the bottom to the top, the record doesn't speak for itself. Like, any team can beat any team on any given night.
Yeah, and that's been proven because, look, I said this earlier. I was like, all the home court advantage means nothing, man. You lost on your home court to South Pim.
Yes.
Crowsville lost on their home court to Campbell. We beat Campbell on their home court. So, you know, it just falls. It doesn't matter. Like you say, you better bring your A game to come play every single night in the Boot Hill Conference.
Yes, these coaches in this Boot Hill Conference, I'm telling you, they sit back and just pick each other apart. We pick each other apart. I mean, these coaches scout very well coached teams, and they have their teams prepared. For, you know, it's like a chess game out there. You know. So,
Coach, this is your first go around with high school basketball.
Yes,
you've been coaching in the AAU circuit, I guess is what you call it. But so compare it out. Tell us how the difference is, and what do you like most, man? Do you like coaching high school basketball or the AAU circuit?
Well, you know, I'm loving high school ball, but I'm telling AAU.
You loving that Boot Hill Conference basketball, ain't you?
The thing is with AAU ball, you might play 3 to 4 games that same day. You might play a team from a whole nother state that you never heard of in your life, and here you are playing this team. Well, you really don't have a scouting report. You just going off what you kind of see the first half, and then you make halftime adjustments. School ball, totally different. You get a week or whatever to set up and just scout everything that other team do. You know, and you got to come prepared for school ball. You got to come prepared because if you're not prepared, the other coach will be prepared.
Yeah, we got some great coaches also in our conference, man. I know we talk about a lot of the high school basketball players, but the coaches as well, man. I mean, Kyle Moore from Zenith, man. Yes. He was an awesome player for the Lions, and then Lamont Bell, yourself. I mean, and Coach Fowler down there at Campbell, man. The things he does for Campbell is just awesome, man. And we can't quit there. I mean, just the whole conference is loaded. Yeah. So, Coach, how did you feel when you first came to Hayti and thought, man, I'm in the Boot Hill Conference?
Well, I looked at some guys and said, man, look like y'all set me up.
I don't blame you there, man, because there's not an off night on that schedule. So, on your other nights, hey, let's talk about a new team we met the other night, Delta, our first time on the schedule. And you go into Delta and man, that you put up 101 points, but they put up 70. I know you can't be too impressed with your defense giving up that, but I'll tell you what, I was impressed with that Cox kid from Delta, man. He put up 33 points, man, was giving his all. But as far as that, you picked up Richland, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, but you got to pick up Delta, and you go there. So how does that feel?
Well, it always feels good to leave out with the win.
Yeah.
We could have played better defense. That Cox kid, he had his way.
Tough
kid. He had a good game. They play extremely hard, well coached. From the girls team to the boys team, they're well coached down that court. But it's always good to leave out with the win, and we look at the points where we can get better at defense, and we're gonna fix that up, and hopefully we improve as the season goes along.
Yeah, so before I step away and hand it off to Jeremy, give us the update on LaDon and how he's doing in his progress and when we might see him back on the court in the uniform.
Well, I mean, hopefully he's back right around districts, hopefully. Right now he's just taking it a day at a time, just letting himself heal up. You know, don't want him to rush back. We want him back at 100%, not 80. So he's young. He got 2 more years left, and you know, just this for him to get smart mentally on the bench as basketball IQ. Just sitting there, being an extra coach on the bench, seeing different things as a player sitting down. So when he do come back, he can be a step ahead.
Gotcha. Jeremy, you got anything for Coach Webb?
Yeah, I'll keep it brief. Coach, first of all, I don't know that we've ever been formally introduced, but I am the Caruthersville guy, so don't think of me as the enemy. I promise you.
No,
You can ask the rest. You can ask the rest of the guys. And I know you've been, a fan of the show. I've been really strong on Hayti this entire season, and I want to ask you about that Delta game. And one thing I've said about Hayti, because I know that there's been a couple weeks where you played back to, I think, 3 games in a row, at least one time. But what I've noticed about your Hayti team is you got to be one of the best, if not the best, about running the court up and down. That's got to come down to conditioning.
That's what we try to hang our head on. We want to wear the next team out. We want them to play faster than what they're usually playing. Yes, that's what we hang our head on. We got a lot of young legs and we want to use them all.
Well, that's one thing I can see, and that's why I've still all year long. I have not got to call one of your games yet. Of course, my only other question for you, because I know these guys want to get in on, is how pumped are you? And it's terrible with the illnesses going around that what didn't happen Saturday, but how pumped are you just for the Battle of the Boot Heel, especially the way the Boot Heel Conference has turned, where everyone is beating everybody, it seems like, but it's all going to come down to this Caruthersville Hayti clash.
Yes, I mean, the Battle of the Boot Heel, I've been hearing so much about it, and for it to come down to this, for us to get that number 1 seed, we have to beat Caruthersville, and I'm just happy to be part of it. I know Coach Lamont Bell going to have them boys riled up, prepared, and we're ready to step up to the challenge. I know they beat us last year, and we want to see, can we redeem ourselves on our home court.
I have a place or a feeling the place is going to be absolutely just insane, like it always is. I've been a part of the Battle of the Boot Heel since 1998, so it was crazy atmosphere, lots of fun, and I wish you the best. And I'm sorry, but I'll be calling for the other side. But I wish everyone the best, and it's great to have you on the show.
Well,
Mark, I saw that.
And I can't wait to be a part of
it. I look forward to meeting on you. Hopefully Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Charlie, what you got, buddy?
Well, Coach Webb, I'm a student at Caruthersville. Let me just preface that first before anything. And I'm also formerly a coach's son, and I know that you coach your kid Ladon. What are some of the joys and some of the stresses of coaching your kid in basketball? Because I mean, my dad always talks about how, oh, it was so good to coach you, but man, I wish I was just in the stands just one time to cheer you on.
Yes, man, I love it. That's a blessing to be a part of your son, like being able to coach your son. But it's a part of it where I got to know when to turn it off as well, where I have to be dad as well. So and that's a fine line sometimes. I try to leave whatever is going on at the court, at the gym, and after that we just go to father and son. Sometimes it don't go like that, but that's the challenge of coaching your son. I see just that balance of being a coach and a father.
Absolutely. And my other question is, I mean, to piggyback kind of off of what Jeremy was saying, how does it feel just to be in the running in your first year as Hayti head coach, to be in the running for the first seed of the Boot Hill Conference tournament?
Oh, it feels good, but I just know it's so much work to be done. We got a goal as a team, and we striving to meet that goal. I mean, it's a blessing to be where we at right now, but I know it's plenty more season to go. And we just got to keep our head down and just keep working hard. But it do feel good to be in this position, but we far from satisfied.
Absolutely. I'd just love to see y'all live one time, at least. Hopefully, sometime this week. Can get that done, unless the illness takes Crothersville out again.
Yes.
But that's all I have. Chris.
Yeah, Coach. It's always good to see you. Appreciate you being on the show. Hadn't got to see you yet. Hopefully, we'll be there Tuesday
Yes,
to have
sir.
the showdown. We talked about this before. I kind of want to get when we had you on the show the first time. Let's talk about Coach Gilmer. I know that I watched a lot of Mark's broadcasts, and he's sitting right there on the bench with you, and I know the knowledge that he brings. Talk about the dynamic of you guys' relationship and what all he brings to not only the varsity, but the outstanding season that the junior varsity is having as well.
Coach Gilmer is he's what make everything run in our program. I don't know where I'd be right now without Coach Gilmer. We coached a lot in the past with the AAU. We had plenty of success on that level, and now here we are on the high school level, and we could trying to continue that same success on this level. But Coach Gilmore, like I always call him, and his nickname to me is the mad scientist, because the guy got so many plays stored in his head, and I just feed off of him. We feed off each other, and like I said, I wouldn't be here without him, and we wouldn't even be in the position that we are in now without Coach Gilmer. He wouldn't make us go.
I touched on the JV. You guys are in a kind of an odd circumstance where, I've seen a lot of this junior varsity and varsity where you got a lot of players that play up or down, play up, and you have to make a decision come conference time of who you're going to play up or down. I don't think you guys have to make any decision because you pretty much got your set JV team and your set varsity team. Let's talk about the junior varsity team. I think they're pretty much in line, could be a 1 seed as well, depending on the Crothersville turnout game. Talk to me a little bit about the confidence that the junior varsity team has. Do they scrimmage well against the varsity? Do you guys even have that going on in your practices? Talk about your junior varsity.
We're all as one in practice. We do everything together. Junior varsity and varsity, we do everything as one. Junior varsity we have 1 junior and the rest sophomores. We do have 3 freshmen on junior varsity as well, and they're loaded. I mean, like I said, our junior varsity, they can jump up. If you know the game, a couple of them came up and played varsity, and that's gonna help us long run. The harder, the better we'll be. And a lot of them junior varsities, they're sophomores, just like some of the varsity guys are. And the future is bright. And our junior varsity, they're playing extremely hard. Oh my God, they play so hard. And hopefully they can take that over to the varsity level and bring success on that side as well.
Yeah, looking at the conference schedule this week, looks like Portageville and Hayti, both teams have 3 games this week. And like I say, Coach, we'll see you Tuesday. Once again, thank you for being on the show. Want to wish you good luck, and I just can't wait for the conference tournament to start to see how this thing shakes out. But thank you very much for being on the show, Coach.
Appreciate you having me.
Hey, Coach, let's talk about you got a player back, man, that got hurt during football season. J.C. Ford is back. What kind of spark does he bring to the team? And as far as leadership wise, I mean, he is a junior, I do believe, or no, he's a sophomore, right? Yeah, another sophomore on your team.
Yes, a general, a born leader. He's a dog. If you call it, he's a dog. He's a leader, and we're happy to have him back. The toughest guy, pound for pound, on the roster.
There you go.
And he's a tough one. He came back at the right time, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I know you and I had that discussion. I was like, man, LaDon goes down, but JC comes back to give a little spark. I went to school with JC's dad, Reggie, man. So he was a good athlete too, man. So props to that, man. And Coach, I guess we will see you tomorrow night in Zenith Warrensville. And then Tuesday, Hay Time in Portersville. And hopefully Wednesday, Hay Time in Crowsville. It's going to be a busy week for you, Coach.
Busy week. Very busy week. See what we can do. It'd be nice to pull them out.
All right, man. Thanks for joining us. That's all I got. Anybody else got anything for Coach Webb before we say goodbye?
I'd just like to say that I think no matter what, Coach, you're sitting in a great spot. No matter what happens this season, like you used the key word when you were talking about the JV and the freshmen being loaded. I think Hayti is going to be a team to reckon with for years to come, because it just seems like you guys are young and you got a lot of leaders that have still plenty of years to play. So Hayti might be up among the top tier for years to come. I'd like to go ahead and be the first one to say that, so I get the recognition for it.
Yes, sir. That's the goal. That's the goal.
Hey, I told KC, and this conversation between me and KC, I said, man, we could go back to back to back with all this talent. So I'm telling all the people in Hayti, and that's why I'm running for school board, Coach Webb, so we can lock you into a big contract, baby.
There we go.
You don't go nowhere, baby.
There we go.
All right, Coach. We appreciate the interview time, man. And I know you're a busy man, got a lot going on. And we here at Boot Hill Sports Network appreciate you and all the coaches in our area and everything you do for the kids. And that's the bottom line. That's what it's all about, man. It's trying to make these young men just that, men. So we will see you tomorrow night, Coach, right here on the Boot Hill Sports Network. Good luck to you as you take on the Zenith Warrensville Lions. And that's not going to be an easy task on the road at Zenith.
No, it's not. And I will see you there. Yes, I know Kyle Moore going to have them boys ready to go. And we ready for a good game tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, Coach. I appreciate you.
Good luck, Coach.
All right. That's Coach Don Webb of the Hayti Indians. He has the Indians playing ball, guys, 10-2. And Hayti hasn't won 10 games in a little while, I don't think, man, after a miserable year last year, man. And Coach Webb's got them going. But as we know, they are loaded with talent and young talent. It's at that. They got some shooters. They got probably one of the best point guards in the state in Javante Payne. He can take it to the hole anytime, any place. Jeremy, glad you could join us tonight, man. In and out. You all right?
Well, I'm trying my best. Yeah, it's people say all the times I don't like to point fingers. Well, guess what? I'm going to point a finger. It's right at you, AT&T. Jesus, get some fiber optic in here or something.
It's a U-verse.
I'm sitting right next to my modem.
Yeah.
My modem is literally a foot away from me, and it still says, please get closer to modem or plug in.
Yeah,
And
you got to go to
everything else in the
Mediacom
house-
Extreme.
Man.
Mediacom Extreme.
I hear the AT&T excuse too much from us.
Yeah.
Gavin
But
Green,
I'll tell you what, the AT&T excuse is well worth it because they are shit. And I do mean that. My apologies for the comment on a high school podcast, and I said that word. But anyway, all right, guys, let's talk about the upcoming week, man. We were gonna have 10 games in 4 days, but Cruzville decided not to join in on the party as they got a little sickness going on, man. But
that's not our
I know.
fault.
So I said, if you give me a chance to finish my comment, I said it's the sickness, but it is what it is. Let's talk about the upcoming games this week. Chris, what do you got going on your schedule there, buddy?
Well, tomorrow we're going to host the South Pembina Bulldogs. It's going to be a big Boot Hill Conference clash. And then Tuesday we're going to be at Hayti. I'll get to join you, Mark. We'll get to do one of them Boot Hill Sports Network exclusives.
That's
on
right,
Tuesday
baby.
night. And then Wednesday we're going to be at Malden. And then Thursday we're supposed to be at Cooter. Our girls, I want to give a shout out to our girls too, the Lady Dogs. Can't say good enough about them, but they're going to be at Campbell on Monday. Then Tuesday they will be at Hayti. So Mark, you'll get to see our Lady Dogs and against the Lady Indians. And then Wednesday they'll be at Malden. So my week's going to be busy as I'm going to have girls games on Tuesday and Wednesday along with the boys games as well. So hey, I'm excited. Can't wait to go get this thing rolling and see where we are come Friday morning when the bracket gets come out.
Right on. Before we get into Jeremy and let him speak on, let me go over the schedule of the Boot Hill Sports Network this week, guys. We got Hayti at St. Lawrenceville. We got South Penn at Portersville. That's correct. Still on. As we know, Corville at Cairo, which is probably not going to happen due to the illness. But that are games all tomorrow night that are on our schedule. And then we moved to Tuesday night. We got Portersville and Hayti. Cooter and South Penn. Jeremy will be down there at South Penn. And Cooter, he probably doesn't even know yet. But that's where Jeremy will be, along with Charlie Duckworth.
I bet.
Seville at Hayti, which we hope will be Wednesday night. Portersville at Malden. Chris will be at that one. And then on 30th, on Thursday night, when the brackets are going to be released, Portersville at Cooter. That's going to be a good one. South Penn at Scott City's where I'll be. And Jeremy will be in Fulton County, Kentucky, as Seville takes on Fulton County, Kentucky. Jeremy, busy week for us, buddy. What do you got?
Well, I was looking forward to, and I haven't heard 100,000% official yet, but I'm 99% sure the Cairo game will be canceled tomorrow because of the school illness. Regardless of whether it's more teachers and students, that's neither here nor there. So I'm going to look forward to. We talked about South Penn and Cooter. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the people of South Penn love Jeremy Abrams, and I love you guys too. South Penn's been, they've had a rocky road the last couple weeks, so I'm really interested to see how they rebound. Cooter's right there, breaking into our honorable mentions and top tens each and every week.
That's right.
Obviously, the biggest game of the week, Wednesday night, especially because you're talking about the JV and the varsity games. We're talking all the marbles for the Boot Hill Conference.
Number one. That's right.
And I can't remember a time. I'm sure it's happened before, but I don't remember in recent memory that happening. And that's going to go down Wednesday in Hayti, and that's going to be a free for all. And cannot wait for that. And then Thursday, me and Charlie make the haul. It's a little over an hour to Kentucky. Didn't know I was going to say that before the season, but Fulton County, they're not having that strong of a season. I think this is a really good chance for rebound from that loss against Campbell, a game that really they had in hand late in the fourth quarter and just let it slip away. And with the canceled games, they're going to have a lot of time to prepare for the Boot Hill Conference tournament. And we're going to, it like I said, it's all going to come down to Wednesday. And all along, guys, I hope we're all in sync that we'll be texting each other right and left on breaks and timeouts, whatever scores, because it's going to be very interesting this week. And for all you that are chiming in, and we appreciate that. Like Ashton said, busy week. We got Go Dogs from Letitia Brown. So we're gonna have a lot of people watching, and hopefully we're gonna be bringing you probably the best basketball week we've had this year. And I just say good luck to everybody. And Charlie, I look forward to the road trip on Thursday. And Mark, we're gonna have a blast on Wednesday, and I know you and Chris are gonna have a blast on Tuesday night. That's for sure. So I just want to say let's go Tigers, let's go Dogs, and let's go Indians. But you can't say that in most of the games because they're playing each other. So how about just a good, clean, healthy week of basketball on the Boot Hill Sports Network? That's what I'm looking forward to.
That's right. Charlie?
Well, I mean, so if we're not going to Cairo tomorrow, which saddens me, I want to go back to my origins, I guess. I mean, my mom and Jeremy are both from Illinois near Cairo. I want to go see Cairo a little bit, see if it's like Egypt. But Wednesday,
it's not like Egypt, brother.
It's not like Egypt. Trust me.
I think there's going to be a lot of empty buildings in Cairo.
But Wednesday, if that's the day of Battle of the Boot Hill, I'm ready. I'm stoked, as that comment says right there. Oh, you took it away, Mark. I know you did. Yeah, I wonder who that is, and I wonder what that says. But besides that, it's just gonna be hopefully close and fun game, and just a good atmosphere as Battle of the Boot Hill always is.
Right.
Then Fulton County, Kentucky. I've been to Kentucky twice in my life, so we'll make it a third time, and let's hope for a Tiger win there, baby.
There you go.
And Charlie, you can throw in there, just kind of give like a Cliff Note version of the conversations that you and I have on our road trips on these away games.
Is that it? Is that in the van? In the van, the green van?
It's not going to be in the van anymore. He's got a car.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jeremy got his new ride. What'd you get, Jeremy?
Well, considering I was looking for something just mostly for my job, I got a Ford Edge.
You got a '68 Chevy.
Ford Edge.
You got a Lamborghini.
No.
He got a wagon, Chris.
Wagon. Gagging wagon.
We're gonna break in the Ford Edge,
station wagon
in Fulton County.
They call it the Woody.
I just want to highlight. I will be in like 5 states this week alone.
Ain't that awesome?
Yeah.
All because you're part of the Boot Hill Sports Network.
Well, I'm also going to Indiana, so
It don't pay very much, but it does pay to be an intern, don't it?
I'm going to Indiana this weekend, so you add that to the list.
There you go. Hey, say hi to Larry Bird.
I got you. I'm announcing it right now.
I don't know if Larry
I'm in the Royal
Bird's going to be
Rumble.
at the Royal Rumble or not.
I'm in the Royal Rumble, guys.
Larry Bird might be in the Royal Rumble.
I got a boss call. I'm in the Royal Rumble this Saturday, representing the Boot Hill Sports Network.
That a baby. I hope you go out as number 30 and win it all.
I'm going
Mark. Hey, Mark, if he does get in the Royal Rumble, he'll go out quicker than Bushwhacker Luke did that one year.
No way.
Hey, don't compare me to Bushwhacker Luke. Don't compare me to
He went straight in.
Hey, yeah, straight out. Straight out to the other
Straight in and
side.
straight out.
Yeah. He said he made I forgot he made bukus of money for that, man. He went straight in one side and straight out the other. Yes. Yes. That was me and Chris was watching that together, and we just cracked up laughing. I'll never forget that, man. Chris, what you got, buddy?
We doing the top 10 or what are we doing?
I don't know what we're talking about now. We done got sidetracked talking about wrestling.
Hey. Yeah, like I say, man, we got 3 big games this week, and I'm going to be busy. I'll probably be a little cranky sometimes, but so I apologize to my wife, my lovely wife who helps out. And, hey, also big shout out to my cameraman, Michael Jeffries, man. He's always there helping me out, man, and he I tell him all the time, I sure appreciate him. He's got a son that Braden Jeffries, that's a freshman that plays on the JV squad. So shout out to Michael Paul Jeffries, man. He helps me out a great deal and makes things a whole lot easier. As you guys know, this thing ain't quite easy as it may seem.
That's right, man. There's a lot of stuff that goes into this, man. And special shout out to my camera person, my wife, Tina Manley, does a great job. Charlie runs the camera when he's there. And then sometimes Jeremy's got to do it all by himself, man. Jeremy, you've been hung out to dry a few times, ain't you, buddy?
We're not starting this agenda.
The first one was in South Pam. I got to do that one against Riverside all by myself. Because Charlie's always finding some, I don't know where he's coming up with all the money. He's always going off somewhere. He's going to the Royal Rumble, for God's sakes. Probably.
Yeah,
man. Hey, let's talk about that for a second, Charlie.
I want to talk about that.
Hey, somebody that's in high school, and what are you, a junior?
Yep.
Gets the money to pay for a ticket to the Royal Rumble.
My dad is a roofer, and he paid for the money. He paid for the ticket. I mean, it says
did your daddy build the roof that they're gonna wrestle in at the Royal Rumble?
He built Lucas Oil Stadium from his
Yes,
bare hands.
I knew it. There you go. There we go. Now we know. Now we got the Paul Harvey. We got the rest of the story. Mac Duckworth, Charlie's daddy, threw 3 shingles down on Lucas Oil, and they got free tickets to the Royal Rumble.
Oh, baby.
Good job, Matt Duckworth. Man, you're going to win Father of the Year, buddy. Ain't no doubt about that, man. All right, so now let's get into our exciting top 10 in class 1 through 3. Jeremy, we'll let you start it out. We'll see what the mind of Jeremy Abrams has got for class 1 through 3 right here on the Boot Hill Sports Network.
Well, I thought about it long and hard. Obviously, well, we'll get to number 1. I'll start with my honorable mentions. I still got Cooter as an honorable mention, and I'll get to see them. So who knows where they're going to be at next week. Actually, I had Zenith Hornersville drop out. The Lions are good, but the top 10 is getting stronger by the week. So I have them as an honorable mention. So I'm going to start my top 10 with number 10, East Prairie. I still don't know what to think about them. We've seen them shine. We've seen them disappoint, all in the same. South Pam, unfortunately, my Bulldogs, I got you dropping down to number 9. But I have a feeling that record's going to be coming up, so they might jump back up. Caruthersville, just with a disappointing homecoming loss, as they've cracked the top 10 last week for me, they fell down a little bit to number 8, but I have a feeling also, and that's really going to matter. No, Wednesday night is make or break for the Tigers. And yes, they still have some tough matchups after the tournament, the Boot Hill Conference tournament, but that one's going to be make or break, and it's going to be fun to see how they rebound from that at Fulton County on that. That's not a long road trip, but still over an hour. I've got Bernie at 7, like we talked about. They can be a thorn in anyone's side, but they've had a couple losses that keep them out of my top 5. Scott City, I'm still high on Scott City. I know they lost to Cape, but that was a higher class, and they only lost by 2 points, so I still have them up there. Campbell's made the big jump for me as I got to see them personally, what they can do on the floor. Boy, them boys can shoot, and they can find the open shot, and they've always got someone open, and they're really, really good on the court. I like Campbell. I mean, and you can't knock a 13-2 record, I believe is what they stand at now.
14-2 now.
I'm sold. 14-2 now, that's right. But hey, Ty, I'm still sold. I'm not going to be unsold until I see Hey Ty, who is down one of their better players. But luckily, they have so many other players that can fill in, so they scare me to death, especially with the tournament coming in. And I got them at number 4. Risco, I got them at the 3 spot. Again, I need to see somebody handle them a little bit more. And then rounding it up, the top 2. Woodland's going to be my number 2, as we've seen what they've done over the past 2 or 2.5 weeks or so. They look pretty unstoppable right now. And then I think we're all probably going to agree until they lose, Puxico is at number 1. So a little shake up there. Most of the same teams in there. Caruthersville and South Pam dropping a little bit. Scott City dropped 2 spots for me. But Campbell makes the big jump. So Campbell at number 5 for me. And then, like I said, Hey Ty at number 4. I can't knock them. I really can't. They're on a streak. They're hot. We just talked to their coach, who's I think he said it all about this team, and we're going to see it all come Wednesday. So I really look forward to it. And then again, rounding it out, Risco, Woodland, and then of course Puxico at number 1. How about you, Chuck?
Well, I had a lot of moving in my top 10. Starting off with the honorable mentions, I'm still high on Twin Rivers. I mean, 12-6, but they've been in some games where they've gotten battered, but these are schools that are in my top 10 or bigger schools. I mean, you can't knock a 12-win team no matter how many losses they have, especially with it just being 6. I have Zenith, keeping them in my honorable mentions. They had a good game against South Pim, and they beat Portageville, but 1-1, it kind of negates everything there. And then I have Cooter still. My top 10, East Prairie. They're back. That's all I can say about East Prairie. They are back. 9, South Pim. 2 losses, but a good win against Zenith. 8 is Crothersville. It's a rough loss to Campbell when you're up at the at about the minute and a half mark by still a significant amount. Then 7, Scott City, just a tough loss to Cape. 6, Bernie. And I want to highlight this. This is something that we did not talk about. The Stoddard County tournament is this week. And Bernie is
we're going to get to that.
Bernie's the 3 seed in this. I mean, they are a potential dark horse in this tournament, a dark mule, if you want to call them that. Fifth is Hayti, just dominant, but I think the 4 teams above them, I just think are, I wouldn't say more dominant, but I think had better weeks. Risco, I think they moved down just because of Campbell, who is my 3, because, I mean, what a week the Campbells had. What a week. And 2's Woodland, they're dominating. They're the 2 seed in the Stoddard County tournament. And number 1's Puxico. Until someone beats Puxico, probably the likelihood is that it could happen in this tournament. As they're the 1 seed, they got to be the number 1.
That's right. Those 2 got a potential matchup coming in that conference tournament, man.
And then
Chris, what you got, buddy?
Well, my honorable mentions, I've got 2. I had Crowsville at 8-8. I got them falling. Probably the biggest mover of the week for me. They fell 6 spots into that 12 hole, I guess you could call it, at 8-8. And then I got Cooter at 12-4, right there on the cusp. Then let's move to the top 10. I got number 10, Saineth. I got them moving up 2 spots. They beat Portageville and they only lost to South Penn by 1. Give them all they wanted. So I'm going to move Saineth Hornsville, Coach Kyle Moore's Lions into the top 10. Number 9, South Pemiscot. I got them dropping 2 spots as they went 1-1 last week. Number 8 team is East Prairie. They did beat Kennett and they beat Donovan. So I have them moving up 2 spots from the 10 to the 8. They're at 12-3. Number 7 is Bernie. I got them dropping 3 spots because they were at the 4 last week, and they're 10-3 as well. Number 6 team I got is Hayti Indians. Had them at 8 last week, but they did beat Malden and they beat Delta. They're 10-2, and so I got them at the 6. And number 5 team I got Scott City 13-3. They won a couple games. I think they beat Windsor, and I can't remember who else they beat, but they're still solid at 13-3. Then the biggest mover of the week for me was Campbell, 14-2. I got them moving up 5 spots. To beat Crothersville and to beat South Penn. That right there tells me all I need to know, is they're going to be ready. Coach Steve Fowler's doing a good job with them, and so they're at my number 4 spot at 14-2. Risco, the number 3 team, 14-2. Woodland, the number 2 team, 13-1, and Puxico at 14-1. My top 3 remain the same, and I think they've been the same for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
I think everybody is going to be Mark probably threw it away again. Now I still got it. Danny Glass's top 10 is coming up. Matter of fact, right now, somebody was asking about it.
Yeah.
Sean Belcher says that they did beat Holcomb, so they're 15-2.
Oh, that's
so
right.
Campbell,
All right.
So Campbell is 15-2, and they're having an excellent year, and they're not slacking. though. Sean Belcher is my buddy, man. We coach Little League baseball together. As he coached Campbell, I coach Hayti, and that is how I met him when I was running the Hayti Little League. Chris, you remember that when we brought that Hayti Little League back?
Yes, I do remember that.
That's when I met Sean Belcher, and we've been friends ever since, man. He's a good guy. His son plays for Campbell. So his son was on that state championship team, and now is the brothers take over, and they're doing the same thing as the other team. So
there's a few names on that team.
That's
now
right. That's right. You'll see the Fowlers, Sieberts, the Belchers. So the same boys. That bloodline runs deep there in Campbell, Missouri. I'll tell you that. All right, so now we're going to talk about Danny Glass, our sponsor, and his top 10. He said his honorable mention in no particular order is St. Thomasville, Cooter, Twin Rivers, Van Buren, as he goes all the way up to Current River, Charleston. Number 10 is the Crowsville Tigers. Most of their losses were by bigger schools except for Campbell. Number 9, South Pemiscot, only losses to Campbell, Crowsville, and Risco, and state-ranked Riverside out of Arkansas. And Jeremy, that was they actually won that one, and then they lost the other one. So, that's tough competition there in South Pemiscot's schedule. Number 8, he's got East Prairie, East Prairie lost 2 games in the Bloomfield Christmas tournament, and then of course they lost to Scott City. And number 7, he has Bernie. Bernie's only losses to Campbell, Woodland, and Puxico, all top teams in our area. Number 6, he has Scott City. Only losses are to Jackson, Woodland, and Cape Central. Number 5, he has Campbell. Campbell's only losses are Overton, Tennessee, and Hayti. So Hayti is the only team in Missouri to beat Campbell, guys. That's kind of crazy.
Yep.
Number 4, he has Hayti. Hayti's only losses to East Prairie and South Pemscott, excuse me. Number 3 is Risco. He has only losses to Dexter by 2, Bernie 2, and Woodland. The only losses, Cape Central. So number 2 is Woodland, excuse me. Woodland's only loss is to Cape Central. At number 1, Puxico only lost to state-ranked Thayer by 5. So that is Danny Glass's top 10. And now we'll talk about my top 10. My top 10 is the same as Chris's, man. I got number 10, St. Torrensville, 11-5. South Pem at number 9 at 8-4. Number 8, I got East Prairie at 12-3. Bernie at number 7 at 10-3. Hayti at 6, 10-2. Scott City, number 5 at 13-3. Campbell, 14-2 at number 4. Number 3 is Risco, 14-2. Number 2 is Woodland at 14-1. And number 1 is Puxico at 14-1. And those two are going to match up in that Stoddard County tournament. And as Charlie said, we didn't talk about that, but there's going to be some great basketball in that tournament as well. Jeremy, you got anything on that?
No, just that I look forward to watching as much as possible. I'm not sure who's covering that, but not just scoreboard watching, but watching hopefully with some games. And, and for Puxico and Woodland to match up, still going to have to go through some pretty tough competition. So, it's no guarantee that that's going to be the championship game, but it obviously on paper it looks that way, but there's no telling.
Yeah, Bernie's going to have a lot to say about that. Is that 3 seed?
Yeah,
Charlie, what you got, buddy?
I have the bracket for the tournament.
That's right.
And,
Talk about it.
So Puxico is the 1 seed. They're playing 8 seed Advance. Then on their side, the 4 seed Richland will play 5 seed Dexter. Should be a good one over there. Then that's for Monday. That's for tomorrow. Then Tuesday's games are Woodland versus Bell City. That's the 2 versus 7. And Bernie versus Bloomfield, which is the 3 versus 6. So Woodland and Puxico, Puxico has to go through Advance, then the winner of Richland Dexter if they beat Advance. And Richland Dexter, whoever wins that is battle ready for Puxico. I can tell you that.
That's right. Yeah, that's gonna be a great tournament, and that is gonna precede the Boot Hill Conference tournament. Chris, what you got, buddy?
Where's the state that tournament's at, Charlie? Does it say?
I believe. 1 second. I can make sure for us. The Stoddard County tournament. I don't know where they're gonna have it at.
Okay.
I'm gonna assume. Let's just assume Puxico.
Well,
Or Bloomfield.
like I say, they have a good tournament as well, but I don't think. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be as good as the Boot Hill Conference tournament. And it's kind of like, this is kind of like a mini tournament we got going on this week, because there's going to be a lot of Boot Hill Conference games, Boot Hill Conference teams playing each other. So a preview, if you will. I'm just looking forward to it, and we're going to be ready. Coach TJ Smith and Coach Kelly Fowler is going to be ready this week. Get the dogs ready, and I just can't wait to get it going.
Absolutely.
Right.
The games will be played in Dexter. I just figured that out.
Okay.
So Dexter has home court for the tournament.
Dexter Richland winner may beat Puxico. I'm calling the upset, says Sean Belcher. I don't know about that, but if you say it's on Dexter's home court, that might happen.
Yeah.
That crowd, I'll tell you what, people don't realize, but that crowd makes a difference.
That Final Four is going to be, must-see TV.
Yeah, for sure. I think all our games are must-see TV. And we got a score update as Buffalo is leading Kansas City 22-21. with just underway in the fourth quarter. What a game that is.
You shaking in your britches over there, Mark?
Nah, I'm not shaking, man. My wife probably is.
Shaking in your little boots,
My
little booties.
little booties, Charlie Poo.
I have to. The reason I said that about
How much
Danny
money
Glass,
will it take?
Danny Glass, gotta love him to death. He called me up the other day to ask me about a game, and the first thing he said was, "Thank you for picking that out of the trash." As we all saw, and as I mentioned on the show without Mark, we got that text message of you and Danny's top 10, and it looked like it was all crinkled up and thrown in the trash. So Danny called me and said he appreciated me figuring out what his top 10 was, because that had obviously been crumpled up and thrown away.
Hey, you can't tell our sponsor that, Jeremy.
Oh, he already knew it. He told me. So I looked at my phone and it said Danny Glass. I said, that's got to be good. You know it's always going to be entertaining when Danny calls you.
Hey, Danny is a fine sponsor of ours, but he also watches a lot of basketball in the area. He goes to a lot of games.
Yep.
And so we definitely appreciate Danny Glass as he laughs at that one. Hey, y'all kicked the boss down while he was sick, by the way. So there you go. So we're going to hide that comment there. All right, so closing comments. Let's start off with Jeremy, closing comments, and then we'll work it around to Charlie and then Chris, and then I'll say goodbye to everybody. Jeremy?
Like I said, it's just a shame that we're not going to get to see all the games we had slated due to illness. However, I think it's going to be a great week of basketball. We're going to learn a lot. And I just want to encourage everyone out there, tune in. If you can't make it to the games, we've got you covered. So tune in, and we're going to have a lot of great basketball all around the area, all around the region, in different states. So just follow us on the Boot Hill Sports Network. Talk to us while we're on the air. We have no problems giving you shout-outs when we can on breaks and whatnot, and keep us posted on your scores as well. So I just want to thank each and every one of you. And Charlie, get ready. We're going to break in the new ride. I'm calling her Carrie since she's a mail carrier. Carrie the White. So
Carrie the Caucasian. I thought that's the
have a
name.
good week. That is Carrie the Caucasian. It's my white male carrier. So that's the new ride, and we're gonna break her in for some shooting hoops, baby, and then we're all ready for it. So let's go. Sorry to say this to you, Mark, but let's go Bills, and let's go, guys. Let's have a great week.
Absolutely, let's go Bills. I mean, let's hope for a good week of basketball. Like I've said the past couple weeks, let's hope for a good week of basketball. This is the prelude to the Boot Hill Conference tournament for us down here. I mean, from Hayti Crothersville to Hayti Portersville. I mean, these games this week are stacked, and every single game will be on the Boot Hill Sports Network. We'll make sure to have it. If it's Chris, if it's Mark, if it's Jeremy, I don't even know. I might drive somewhere and do a game. Might buy a camera myself. But it's just hope for a good week of basketball. And, I mean, tournaments next week.
Yeah. First of all, I hope anybody that's dealing with the flu, I hope that, I hope you get better, get well soon, so to speak. But one thing I want to mention is thank you to our sponsors, because, with this flu going around, hey, if you don't want to get out, I know to watch some Portersville Bulldog basketball, just go over there to YouTube, look up Boot Hill Sports Network, like and subscribe, tune in to me, and I'll have all the action for you starting tomorrow night as we host South Pembroke Bulldogs. What better way than to check it out right there from the comfort of your recliner or your couch. Kick your feet back and get your laptop charged up or your phone. And hey, listen to the Boot Hill Sports Network. We're all a bunch of people that know basketball, and I'm just proud to be a part of the Boot Hill Sports Network. And hey, we got a good week to go, so that's pretty much it. Everybody get well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure, man. Everybody get well. And if you are stuck in the house, don't forget, we got you, man. We got 10 games in 4 days on our schedule, maybe 9 now with Corville's sickness going on. But anyway, we're going to have a lot of games right here on the Boot Hill Sports Network. So if you're not able to go, just join us on our YouTube, Facebook. Like, share, subscribe. Tell somebody about it. We have really grown, and thanks to all you guys and we ladies, men, we appreciate it. So we got you covered. I'll tell you what, Jeremy's got Crowsville covered. Chris has got Portersville covered. Charlie's got the inside scoop as he is a student there at Crowsville, so he's got a lot of scoop for us.
Yeah.
I got Hayti, Cooters, South Pim covered. So if you want to know something about Southeast Missouri basketball in the Boot Hill, we are your guys. So make sure you join us every Sunday night right here at 7 o'clock on the Boot Hill Sports Network, shooting hoops in the boot. Until next Sunday, no, that's a lie. We will see you tomorrow night somewhere as we got games galore this week. So this is Mark Manley, Jeremy Abrams, Chris Brown, Charlie Duckworth saying so long for the Boot Hill Sports Network.